You need to use n8n right now. It's the most powerful automation tool I've ever seen. On top of that, it's open source, local, private, and free. It makes Zapier and IFTTT cry. But hold up, I'm warning you, n8n is addicting. Because you can automate everything right here from this beautiful GUI. We can start with something simple, aggregating your news, YouTube, subreddits, hacker news, a nice daily digest sent to your inbox. Maybe sprinkle in a little bit of AI summarization. Let's get crazier and automate your home lab. Run commands on a schedule, create an AI agent that will troubleshoot your home lab before you even know there's an issue. You can even talk with your home lab. Think about that. If you're in IT in any capacity, you need to run n8n. They have connections to every service you use, and if they don't, you can make your own. And I'm not sure you heard me. You can automate everything. Your email inbox, social media post, your toilet. It can do anything. Honestly, the hardest part is figuring out what to do first. Let me help you with that. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through every step of setting up n8n in your lab, teaching you the basics of n8n and walking you through a few of your very first automation projects, which I think you're gonna love. So get your coffee ready. Let's automate. Now real quick, have you hacked the YouTube algorithm? Let's make sure you do. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, notification bell. You gotta hack YouTube today. Ethically, of course. Now I'm gonna show you two ways you can install n8n. I encourage you to take a glance at both paths so you can kind of get a feel for what's best for you. The first way is on-prem, in your home lab, in your house. This option will be a bit more complex, but that just makes it more fun. The good news is that n8n is light. You'll need some Linux, so think a server or a desktop computer, but it doesn't have to be big. It can be as small as a Raspberry Pi. In fact, it can be much smaller. What's funny is their official documentation's like, you don't need much. It's not CPU intensive. And no matter what hardware you choose, we will be installing this with Docker, which is amazing. If you don't know what that is, that's fine. I'm gonna walk you through it. The second option is my favorite and recommended path, the cloud. For this, you've got options. I'm gonna walk you through setting it up on Hostinger. They are the sponsor of this video and where I host a lot of my home lab now. Now, the reason I like this option is because n8n connects to a ton of things, and it has a ton of things connect to it. The cloud option is less complex, and you'll be up and running in a few sips of coffee. One more to go. The first thing you'll do is set up your cloud account. We're gonna do it on Hostinger. Head out to hostinger.com/n8n. Now real quick, check this out. If I go to services and go to VPS, which is a virtual private server, is what we're doing, you can jump right into n8n VPS hosting. It's like they knew we were coming. Click on that. Choose your plan. KVM2 is perfect. With all of this, you can have an entire home lab, not just n8n. Run a website, run Open Web UI. A lot of the projects I talk about on this channel can be run with this one virtual machine in the cloud. And don't forget to put in coupon code NetworkChuck. Some magic stuff will happen. Now, if you chose that special n8n option, you're pretty much done. If, however, you already had a Hostinger server, maybe running Ubuntu or something, or any other type of VPS, continue on to the on-prem installation. It's gonna be pretty much the same. Hey, NetworkChuck from the future here. I decided to pop out the section for the on-prem install into its own video, which you can see right here. Why? Because I did not want you to wait to see how powerful n8n is, which I'm about to show you right now. Once it finishes setting up and you're at the server console, just click on Manage App, and it takes you right to the n8n signup page for your own hosted n8n. Anyways, let's get logged in, or signed up. I don't want to receive any updates. Next. We don't have to fill any of that out. And you actually do want this free activation key. So go ahead and have it send that to you. Check your email. I just received my key, so I'll go to the usage and plan area to enter my activation key. Again, this is all free. And done. So now here we are. At the overview, n8n is installed. Now what? Let's set up your first automation. And what n8n calls an automation is a workflow. We'll start right up here. Click on Create Workflow. Now you're about to have a whole world open up to you. This is so fun. Now for me, I always feel like I'm behind. Like it's so hard for me to keep up with all the tech news coming out. Checking bleeping computer, hacker news, subreddits, YouTube, it's all so much. I need a better solution. We're gonna make that right now. Now we're gonna start small, something very simple, and then we're gonna slowly get more insane. It's like a skinny dude just getting into the gym. We're starting slim. By the end, we're gonna be yoked and insane. All right, n8n basics. Here we stinking go. Click on the square to add our first step. Boom. What's happening here? We're adding our first trigger. What's gonna make our workflows flow, do its thing? 99% of the time, you're gonna start with trigger manually right here. Your workflows can always have this trigger along with other triggers. We'll cover that here in a second. Actually, you know what? Let's add another trigger right now. So at the top right, you'll see we have our plus icon. Let's add another one. Plus, and then down here we have add another trigger. This time we'll do on a schedule. And we'll say every one day at, midnight's actually great. Done. So now we have two triggers, both ready to do some things. Let's click on that first plus icon to add our next node. Now here you have a billion options. We have a fun AI section, which we'll cover a little bit here in a moment. you can do something in an app, and they have a bajillion connections to whatever service you can think of. Just know we have a bunch of nodes and they help us do things. The first thing I want to do is search for RSS. We're gonna do an RSS read trigger. And notice it immediately threw us into the node. We can click out of it just by clicking some blank space. It's sitting right here. It's got like a little angry thing because we haven't configured it yet, but notice how it connects. We can also take our schedule trigger and connect it here too. Boom, just like that. Or we can delete it, boom. And we're gonna start with one RSS feed. It's gonna be from Bleeping Computer. Put it in there, get out of there, let's save our config. You wanna save often, like everything in IT. Top right, click on save, we're saved. And now let's test our RSS read. Let's jump in there, just double click your icon, your node, and click on execute step right here at the top. Go. Did you see all that? It just went out and pulled all the stuff, all the articles from Bleeping Computer. Notice our fields are the creator, the title. Unified CM has a hard-coded root SSH. Oh, that's bad. Anyways, we have a whole bunch of fields. Even has the entire content. And notice a few things here. We actually have our number of items. It pulled 13 articles from the feed. We don't control that. That's just how many were available in the RSS feed. And also notice over here, we can change how we view this data. Now, you're about to become an expert in JSON because n8n is very JSON heavy. We can view it in JSON or JSON, or we can view the schema, all the available fields. Now, if we click out, notice that we have on our little timeline connector here, the trigger was like one item, which is just go. The RSS read, when it read the RSS feed, it pulled in 13 items, and that's what it's gonna hand off to the next step. All right, cool. We pulled in 13 articles from Bleeping Computer. Let's send it somewhere. Let's say Discord. So I'm gonna add another node right here. Boom. I'll search for Discord. They do have a built-in Discord node. And look at all these options. You can do so many things. For me, I'm gonna send a message. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Now immediately we're thrust into this and we have a lot of options. The first is our connection type. Now keep in mind, every node's gonna have their own configuration. Now for our connection type, I want to do a simple webhook because all I wanna do is send a message to one particular channel. But in order to do that, I'll need a credential, something to connect to this service. Now you'll see this a lot with n8n. You can connect all kinds of things like your Gmail account, your Gmail calendar, Notion, OpenAI, Grok, Anthropic. A lot of connections, a lot of credentials. Let's go ahead and add one right now for Discord. Now for this particular use case, it will only be a webhook URL, very simple. Feel free to follow along, like it's free to set up a Discord server. I just did it just now as we were talking. I'm gonna create a new channel, Sweet News, creating it. And then I'll go into my server settings, go to integrations and create a quick webhook, which will post to Sweet News. I'll copy that URL, paste it here, click save, and we have our first credential created. And notice how we have a drop down because we can have multiple Discord credentials, but we just have the one now. We're gonna send a message and we're gonna say something. Now first I'm just gonna test it. I'm gonna say hi and execute. Excellent. We got a success, true. Now, is that true? Let's go check. Oh gosh, it just said hi a million times. In general, I hadn't saved it for the other thing yet. Now, real quick, why do you think it said hi 13 times? Watch, I'll do it again. By the way, isn't this like playing with the video game? Like, why do people even play video games when you can do stuff like this in your home lab? Are you kidding me? Let's say, I bet you there will be 13 of these. Go. Done. Look back in Discord, we have 13 messages. Why? That's how n8n handles things. Notice that we're handing off 13 articles or items from our RSS read node. The Discord node is gonna go through each one of those 13 items and perform 13 individual actions. Now, the reason I only said like hi or that dumb sentence I had is because I didn't put anything specific to those articles in the message. Let's change that right now. So let's start with, hey, here is your news for the day. And here's where things get very fun. Let's hit enter a few times, give us some space, and let's start adding some of the content from these articles. Let's add the creator. I'm just gonna grab this right here. See this? Notice how my mouse highlights it? I'm gonna drag it over right there. Look at that. Notice it's gonna be json.creator. It's pulling from this JSON information. And this notation right here is actually JavaScript. Don't get scared. You won't have to know JavaScript to move forward with n8n. You're gonna get better at JavaScript because it does rely on that quite a bit. But we've got ChatGPT and Claude to help us figure out some other things, but for now, you won't have to know that. Just notice what I did there. I dragged and it created that. So we'll put the creator, let's put the title, we'll put the link and the publish date. How about that? And notice how below us, we're seeing the result, the example, what those variables are forming into. Now let's test that out. Execute step. Let's go see what happened. Ah, look at that! Actual news. Notice it sent out 13 messages, but also notice it said, hey, here's your news for the day 13 times, one for each article. Not ideal, we'll definitely fix that. But so far, we've done something pretty cool. I'm gonna click save one more time. We set up a node to pull information from an RSS feed, and then we're sending that information to a Discord channel. But honestly, 13 is too much. I don't wanna see 13 things. Let's limit that information. So right here between the Discord node and the RSS read node, I'm gonna add something called limit, which will restrict the number of items. I'm gonna say I only wanna see 5 things. Now I could execute it from here. I don't have to. I can jump out, hit the play button right here, boom. And now we're only sending 5 items. Now, do you wanna see something really cool? This has nothing to do with news, but I can't wait to show, oh, I almost want my coffee. That's how excited I am. I can't wait to show you this. Now, we don't have to click on anything to add a new node. We can just go up here to the plus sign, or even just hit tab and open up the node selector. I'm gonna search for command line. We can execute commands on the host. So I'm gonna click out of it. Look at that. That's pretty sick. I'm gonna have this click to execute button make that go off too. Now look at that. I can actually make both of these go off. Another branch. Now let's have it do something. So let's jump into our node, and this will be a command that we're actually executing on our Docker host. I'm gonna say ping 1.1.1.1, and we'll do that for a count, so -c of 3. Let's try it out. Look at that. We are able to run commands. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to get this. I have a billion ideas. Now let's say that we're doing a test for our internet. And we know that when we ping 1.1.1 and we get responses back, we know it's working. And maybe we want to have that sent to us in our Discord message. Let's do that right now. So I'm actually gonna delete this connection between Discord and the limit node. And I'm teaching you a little bit about how we manipulate data inside n8n. I'm gonna add a new node right here called the merge node. We can merge sets of data. Notice how it has 2 inputs. Limit's going into one. Let's add our command output into the other. For merge, we have a few options, or more than a few, we have a lot. But appending is great. So it's gonna append one input to another. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second, but notice something kind of weird. Notice how our command output shows one item going out, but our RSS feed, or read, and our limit is outputting nothing. It kind of reset, didn't it? So now we have to go back in there and run them again to pull fresh data. So I'll jump into RSS read, execute the step again. Notice how our command output is now gone. It kind of resets as you're going through. That's annoying, especially as you get to later steps. There's a way to get beyond that when you're testing. I can jump into this RSS read. Notice that we have our results here on the right, and I have a little thumbtack. I can pin that data, say keep that data there. Don't ever remove it. Same thing goes for limit. When I execute limit, I can say boom, pin that there. So no matter what happens, that stays there. I'll do the same thing for command. Pin that sucker. Notice we have our pin on each of the nodes when we do that. And then we'll execute our merge, and I'll show you what it does here. So it actually just did our 5 articles we're pushing over, and then at the end, we have a bunch of weird fields, but at the end, it added in our ping results, which is standard out, a new column it has. And notice we're outputting 6 items now. Let's connect that back to Discord, and let's jump into the Discord node and mess with a few things. Actually, I'm just gonna add one more new piece of data. We're gonna add our standard out here. So notice the ping results are down here with standard out, or st-doubt, no doubt. Now let's run it. True, a lot of stuff. We check Discord, there's all our articles, and at the end is our ping result. Now sidebar, beyond just doing the command, execute a command on the Docker host, we can also add an SSH node that will log into any computer or server with SSH access and execute any command you want. Network switch, router, anything. Oh, I know, your gears are turning. Stop it, you can't do that right now. You're gonna get distracted. We gotta learn the basics before you move on. Sorry, that was my fault. Now, one of the killer things that I have not shown you yet with n8n is the power of AI. Now already, n8n is cool because you can do all of this and we haven't even touched AI. Oh, let's add AI to it. Let's say we've got all these articles coming in, these 5 items from Bleeping Computer, but who has time to read that? Let's have AI summarize that for us. So right here between the limit and the merge, I'm going to add a new node. I'll choose AI, and we have a bunch of options. The most common one is right here, the basic LLM chain. We'll select that, and we'll jump out of it real quick so you can see it nice and clean here. Let's make some room for our new family member, our new friend. Notice our LLM chain, he's a bigger node, and he has this weird thing jutting out of him. And this is for our AI model. We can choose whatever AI model we want to connect to this and be the brains. Let's do that right now. Click on plus, and we have some options. Anthropic, Azure, DeepSeek, OpenAI, or even Ollama, a local model. So here I'll select Ollama, why not? We will need a credential. I'll create one right now, and it's just gonna be connecting to a host. Now, my local host is not running my Ollama server. It's gonna be Terry here in my data center. Now you might be wondering, Chuck, how are you doing this? You're right now connected to Hostinger, but you're somehow accessing your stuff on-prem, and that magic is with TwinGate. They're not sponsoring this video, but I use them all the time for stuff like this. It's insanely secure and awesome. If you wanna learn more, I've got a video about it here. So anyways, let's see if this works. Click on save, it's gonna test the connection. Okay, I think it worked. And then now I can select all of my local models. I'll run Llama 3.2, why not? So now with the LLM chain, I've got my model connected. Now let's have it do something. So I'll double click the LLM chain node. So it's hoping you have a chat trigger connected to it. Instead of that, we're going to define our own message, a prompt. And I'll say, hey, your job is to summarize this article in 2 sentences. Go. And then I'll add in the content. Now, the content is very much abbreviated. And how is Ollama gonna summarize what's not there? So let's try this. I'm gonna change my RSS feed from Bleeping Computer to Krebs, another security-based blog. Krebs on security. And I believe when I do that, I should get the entire blog and the content. Yeah, it's like every bit of it. That's awesome. I'm gonna pin that. Jump into my limit, execute again, unpin and test. There it is, I'll pin that now. So now when I jump into my LLM, I'll add the content encoded, and that should be everything. Let's take a look by expanding the box. Yep, every bit of it. So now let's execute the step and see how Ollama handles this. Now, I'm worried because that is a lot of content, and as I step out, you can see it's working, this is so cool, look at this. And there goes 3, 4, 5 items, it finished up. Let's check it out. The output now is okay. It didn't quite summarize each article in 2 sentences because we're dealing with the local model and the context window of a local model is smaller. Ollama did okay, but if we trade it out for more of a frontier model, let's do ChatGPT. I'll create a new credential for OpenAI. I'll use 4.1 mini, that's fine. Let's see how that does. Not too bad at all. That's awesome. Check this out. Let's add a LLM chain between our execute command and the merge. Let's do AI, we'll do a standard LLM chain. And let's do something like this. Tell me if the internet is up. If you see successful pings from the output below, that means it's good. Tell me in a funny way. Impersonating Eddie Murphy. Let's grab the standard out, put it right there. We'll give it OpenAI. Let's see how it does. That's stupid. But it's powerful. You get what I'm kind of trying to do here. But come on, I know what you're thinking, like, what else can you do with that? So let's expand this a bit more. I'm gonna save this. This will be like our part 1 project. And I'll go up to the top left here, see where it says My Workflow. We're gonna click in there and just name this My First One. And then we're gonna go up here to the top right, click the buttons or the dots here and say duplicate. I'll say My Second One. And duplicate. Now we have another workflow. If I go back to personal on the side here, I can see I have my 2 workflows. I can go to credentials. See I have all my credentials here that I've created. Executions. Every time we've run something, you can jump in and analyze exactly what happened. Like, isn't that amazing? This thing's too powerful. Let's get back to our second one. Let's add some more fun stuff. So what I want to do actually is finish up this project. Let's combine all the information that we now have from our AI-powered stuff. And I should have pinned that information. Pin that. And this is where pinning information is great because you don't want to waste tokens on AI. Speaking of tokens, look at this. I'm gonna run it again. We got a log here, what's going on. It shows you in real time the tokens being used on the bottom left here. Isn't that cool? All right, now we're really gonna pin that information. Now before we get to merge, I wanna mess with our data over here for a second because right now, if we look at our LLM chain, right, it's outputting just the summary. That's all it's handing out. And these 5 items, that's all we're seeing. But I also wanna include information from our limit, like the creator and the title and the link. So we can do something pretty cool with a node called the set field node. I'm gonna add it right here. Search for it, set, or edit fields, there it is. So sitting right here, what we can do is just take certain things we wanna include. So I'm gonna go back to previous steps. I'll go to the limit step. So give me the creator, give me the title. I'm just dragging stuff over. Give me the link, publication date, and then I'll add in the summary that ChatGPT made. So if I execute that, bam, it created those fields, just the ones I want. And then we'll send them to our Discord. And actually what I'm gonna do now is remove the merge. Because it gets messy having 6 items from over here and only 1 item from over here, I'll remove that and just duplicate my Discord node, just like this. So now, set field puts out all the info. Say, hey, here is what you need to know today. Then over here, here is how the internet is doing. Let's try it out. Let's check our internet look. Oh, there we go. That's so cursed. And then let's execute our news articles. Let's check it out. Oh, we forgot our link. Gotta have the link in there. Much better. Now we're gonna start going faster here, but let's add some more news. Let's say YouTube videos. And did you know that every YouTube channel has their own RSS feed? So check this out. I'm gonna add a new node for set fields. We're gonna set some information here and we're gonna put this at the root of our flow here. We're gonna add a field called channel IDs. We're gonna make this an array, which will be a list of items, and it's gonna be a list of YouTube channel IDs. We'll grab a few. Let's go grab mine, which you can find a channel ID from going to more and going to share channel and copy channel ID. Got there. Let's go find David Bombal. And Tyler Ramsby. All great friends. This way you're not reliant on the stupid YouTube notification system. So now our array will look like this. When I execute this, boom, clean list. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add just after this an RSS read. To find an RSS feed for any YouTube channel, it's gonna be like this. Blah, 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 channel ID equals. And we're just gonna add in, at the end of that, the channel IDs. So notice it filled it in the variable over here. Oh wait, do you see what's happening? Oh no, it's taking it as one object and putting it all in there at the same time. I've got a fix for that. You're learning some serious data manipulation here in n8n. What we have to do, notice it's spitting out one item right here. We need to have that spit out as many items as there is YouTube channel IDs. So we're gonna add another node in between called split out, not Splunk. And yes, you can do Splunk stuff. Split out based on channel IDs. Execute, boom, 3 items, kicked out, perfect. Now it's working, awesome. So if we execute the step for the RSS read 1, we'll change that to YouTube channels. It's gonna go grab some YouTube videos and their links. And we got 45 videos to watch. We don't need that many. What do you say we filter it? Let's filter by the ISO date. So this will be essentially when the video is published. Let's grab that, put it in there. Now notice it's like the time as well. And we don't really need to filter off the time. All I care about is the day. So I'm gonna use some fancy expression like this that'll just grab the year, month, date. Now again, I'm no wizard with this. This is just ChatGPT. Hey, how do I do this really quickly? And I'll say is the published date after or equal to, and we'll put in 3 days from now. Again, with some AI magic. Cool. Notice how it's changing to July 1st for that particular date, and then June 29th. Let's see how many videos are within the last 3 days. 8, cool. So we've filtered it down to 8. Our output looks okay. And then let's add another Discord node and edit what data we want to see. Perfect. Let's try it out. And now we have videos being delivered to our inbox or to Discord. Now, we're gonna have to stop here because this video could probably go on forever. I could sit here and do this with you for a long time. I'm gonna save my stuff, gonna zoom out for a second. And I just wanna point out a few things. First, what we did here was not crazy complicated, but it is powerful. And what I wanted to hit home was the building blocks of n8n. My goal was to get you going, oh, I can do that with the AI agent. I can execute these commands. Ooh, I can do this and that. Like, I want you to be just brimming with ideas and I want to see those in the comments. Think about this, food for thought, because this is what I'm going to build based on this. Instead of just spitting out articles, maybe you have an AI rate the articles based on your personal preference and rank them. And maybe the AI will tell you, hey, you should definitely read this article or don't waste your time with this. Maybe it can go through YouTube videos, look at the comments, read the transcript, summarize when you really don't need to watch the entire video, or have it tell you this video is a must, you have to watch the entire thing. Like that kind of thing, having this crazy automated news aggregator is totally possible with this tool. And that's just one idea. And by the way, I did kind of build this already. I wanted to show this to you in this video, but I just didn't have any time. But in the next video, because there is something I want to cover beyond this, I want to show you something I teased in the beginning. There's more around this workflow here. Executing commands and having AI analyze your commands. Because n8n has one powerful thing I haven't shown you yet. It's with AI. I'm going to add one more AI thing here. It's the AI agent. I'm just going to put him out in the middle here. Let's zoom in on him. Notice he's like the LLM block, but he has a few more things going on. He's got memory and tools. What does that mean? Check this out. I'm going to add, for the chat model, just OpenAI. Cool. Then for the tool, I'm going to add command line. And the command will be ping networkchuck.com for 4 pings. I'll describe it. This is how you check if the website is up. I'll add another tool. Let's do another command. And say ping 10.77.14.30 for 3 pings. This is how you see if Terry is up. And now I'm gonna add a trigger for this AI agent. It'll be a chat trigger. I'll connect it right here. And I'm gonna open the chat. And I'm gonna say, hey, is the internet up? It's using ChatGPT. It's gonna use one of our tools. It's using both for some reason. Look at that. So that's pretty cool. I can say things like, hey, is Terry up? It's only going to one thing, Terry. Are you seeing this? This is a simple example. We can connect this whole thing to our whole home lab. That's the next video. That's all I got. I'll catch you guys next time.